Well, good morning. Wonderful morning up in Dumfries and Galloway, 14th of October 2023. Just taking the mucklings up for a wee wander in the orchard. I wasn't going to do that. I think this is my third orchard walk around since planting it up. So this is my 5.5 acre field, and right in front of us is where I've sectioned off about 1.5 acres and started to plant up trees back in it was March time, I think, earlier 2023. So glorious morning, bit fresh, about 6 degrees Celsius, and my very proud achievement of this fence, helped by the local farmer. It's not cheap, I tell you that much. Anyway, welcome to the orchard on the hill. Let's open this up a bit. Go on, dogs. Oi, come on you. So, I'll just take a wee wander around the perusal that I do every now and again. On the right hand side I've planted up hedgerows and trees. They've doubled in size, at least. They're doing quite well. Again, they were back in March or April time. Woodland Trust, I think, gave me them fairly cheap. Anyway, this first bit of the orchard is my pear circle. Believe me, it is a kind of a ellipsis rather than a circle. But the first one there, I think, is a Scottish varietal called Lindors. As you can see, they're all beginning to lose their leaves. And as we wander around here, there's a combination of Scottish pears. One's called Maggie, one's called Lindors. I think Lindors came from France. And the other one is Longueville as well, another French pear that came to Scotland in the 16th century or so. So if we wander down through my pear/perry circle, I've strimmed a couple of times this year just to try and keep a path through the orchard, taking a right hand bend at what's this one called? This one that's called, it's a Perry pear called Gin. Again, it'll be a few years before I get any pears off these, I would imagine. But strimming was quite the effort, truth be told. So these walks, I'm not going to bore people by stopping at every tree, but I've got a mixture up here of, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pears. And up in this area, eventually I've flattened it out. This will be some sort of seating, dining area for the few far between days in summer we get up here to enjoy eating out. So, hello Custard, give me a ball, ready? Right, and then down the First Avenue, these I think start off with these are two old jerseys. So these are cider apples, mainly going down. I've tried to clump similar varietals together. So, you know, I've got a maximum of 5 of any one tree, and some singletons, some funny names. There's one from, I used to live in Somerset, so there's one called Frome, which is a wee town in Somerset. And I've not had many apples, because year one you should really pick the fruitlets off. But on the outside here, right, this outside perimeter, there's about 10 trees. These are all M25s, so these are like full standard trees, and you can see they are looking bigger than the others, which are a combination of MM106 and MM111. Dog likes to run after the balls. So, what's this one, just out of interest? I can't remember. I should get better at this. This is Black Dabinet. Yes, you want attention, give me that. So, row number 2. Again, different trees grow at different rates. Some of the M25s have put on 2 or 3 foot. Some of the M106s have maybe only put on a foot, so I suppose it's all in proportion. And then the wood around this orchard is just glorious purples, browns and reds. Not sure if the phone picks it up, but so still this morning. And by not cutting between the trees, I'm hoping to encourage wild flora and fauna. This little man definitely likes sniffing out the mices. I think there's plentiful supply of vermin. And you can see rather than spending 20 grand, there's the neighbour walking her dog in the path. Rather than spending 20 grand fencing this with a deer fence, well, I better stop. Gilly, come here. Come on. This way. Come on. Come on, this way. I'm spending 20 grand on a deer fence around the perimeter. I spent about £600, although I've got loads of it left, of this sort of tough plastic mesh that's 6 foot high, 1.8 metres I think. Labour of love, because you've got to wrap it around every tree. Beginner's mistake, well, 2 beginners' mistake. One is, I think, the 10-foot gap between trees is maybe A, inconsistent, but B, I think 12 foot would be a better gap. I would imagine in 5 years' time these will be touching hands. And as you can see, for some of these trees that I've wrapped up, this is a good example. I should have given it a bigger space between the stakes, so it was better enclosed. That there is liable to be snaffled by a deer. They do, there is evidence that deer come in here. In fact, down the bottom I transplanted a handful of trees that were in pots or in the garden down the way, and I think it was the red ploughman, red apple, Scottish varietal, got absolutely stripped of bark, so if it survives the winter I'll be looking to take some signs off it and propagate 2 or 3 of them, because it's a lovely tree. Is the I think it's called the red ploughman. I've got something like 65 cider apples, 15 to 18 pears and perry trees, and then the rest are a combination of a handful of dual purpose, handful of cookers, and then the rest are eaters. In fact, from memory, this is an eater, is it? This Spartan. Will I surprise myself and any viewers that I've got this right? No, it's hanging down. So this is my wife's favourite, apart from Pixie, I think, because hanging down is a unusual name. I think it's an old Somerset or Devon apple. They're called different things, but hang down. Anyway, I feel I'm rambling. Well, I suppose I am rambling in a way, rambling through my orchard. There's a Tom Putt. I've got 2 or 3 of them. I did actually leave 3 or 4 fruitlets on those 2 trees, so I've got half a dozen. So overall, I didn't quite defruit every single tree, so I probably ended up with 20 to 30 apples this year from a number. Probably a dozen of them was from the Arlington Mill I transplanted, which is a few years old. So even though I did transplant it, I didn't bother to thin it, so I just let it do its thing, and it's given me a dozen apples of those 25 or so. So that'll be enough for a couple of litres of cider. First pure sample of this orchard's output. But no, I'm just going to continue to ramble through this because it gives you an idea of how many trees I've got, hopefully, and the situation and the setting. I must admit, my hand's getting a bit cold. It's still a bit frosty where there's no sun. But here's the stuff that I've been using to guard from deer. As you can see, that's the sort of spacing I should have done. I've managed to do one, but it's going to be a labour of love to do that for everyone. And that's called Pig Snout. Another wee cider apple. Oh no, it's a dual purpose apple. I would imagine one day I shall know this orchard like the back of my hand. But it was terribly wet this year in July. I'm not sure there was a day, well, certainly not a day when I was available that I could strim because it was so wet. So I did have visions of strimming the whole thing, but as a compromise I've left sort of pathways between each one, and we'll see how that goes. But as you can see, there's some massive boulders that I dug out from a previous video. I think I shared that I used a digger, and here is potential evidence of mice. He's getting his snout in under the apple. Oh, you, what are you doing? Come on, out, Gilly. No, stop digging. Let's seal this off with a stone. Oi, get out of it. Go on, back. Oi, what's this? Oi, no. What's this? Come on. Get away. Let's find some stones to dig that bloody... Come on. What was I saying? Stony. Wet. Didn't quite get a chance to strim as much as I wanted. I do wonder whether I've got an opportunity for one more strimming day before winter sets in properly. Just to sort of clear up these paths for the winter. But we'll see. Come on, you two. This way. Most of these down here are turning more of a percentage of eating apples, I think, from memory. And ciders with some pears, potentially. This is a pear, is it? Oh no, it's an apple Galloway pippin. I left one fruit on that. It was the size of a Bramley. Very good texture, very good taste, nice high acid. We had it in a crumble last night with some Blenheim orange and something called Hoxton green, which again was a very firm and acidic apple. So I'm not an expert yet on how all the different apples taste, but with a bit of luck I'll get a much better experience. This is the Arlington Mill I transplanted from down the way. I think it's a fine looking tree. It's growing upright with an open head on it. And this is the poor bloody ploughman, that's what it's called. It's only when you see a tree that you remember it, and you probably can't see it, but all the bark's been nibbled away. But it's healthy-ish. It did lose its fruit not long after it got nibbled, but we shall see how good this goes. Now, I won't go down the bottom. You can kind of see the bottom here. There's 10 rows in total, ranging from about 12 trees to 18 trees in each row. Unfortunately, there's areas up on the higher bit there that was too stony even for the digger to get a hole. So, and this wee man, I'm going to put him on the lead because he's going to continue to dig up around the tree, which cannot be good for it, and might encourage more mice and vermin to take up residence. Look at the bloody size of the hole he's done. Oi! Come here. Come here. Yes, you. Yes, it's difficult putting you on with one hand. Come here. You're on the lead now, come on. Right, the only other area I want to show is what I call my nursery, which is 10 rootstocks. I think they're all NM111. And then I was down in Somerset, probably said this in a previous video, down in a little place called Street, where there's a Hex cider farm, and Andrew, lovely chap, gave me a bundle of Broxton Foxwhelp scions. Not all have taken, but this one has taken. They're teeny weeny. They'll need hopefully to grow away in the spring. This one has taken, but lost all its leaves. So I think out of the 10, 6 have taken, which for an amateur, first timer, grafting, I'll settle for that. That gives me 4 to graft something else on to next year, in April. Take the scions in February. That one failed, unfortunately. And then up here, I've got another 20 trees arriving from Scottish Heritage Fruit, based in Edinburgh. And that'll be me up to full capacity, I would imagine, once those trees are in. Anyway, here's my wee nursery of Broxton Foxwhelp cider apples. Very, very sought after cider apple in the 16th and 17th centuries. And then this is me coming back up to almost where I started, what I call my ring of Perry. Ho ho ho, ha ha ha. But yeah, the wildflowers were pretty good this year. For year one, a lot of harebells, which is a Scottish bluebell, lasted for ages, all the way through the summer. And then these sort of white angelic carroty type plants were prolific. But no, that's probably me. This is my 150-ish trees, 6 or 7 months old now. Well, at least that. They've been, most of them 1 or 2 year old saplings when I ordered them. Right, I'll sign off for now as I approach the beginning, which is the end of this video.